Some drugs look alike, some drugs sound alike. Some drugs have the same mechanism of action, some drugs share metabolic pathways, some drugs share properties, and some don't. Effects and side effects of drugs are not only assigned to drugs, specific drugs, but also to drug classes. What if it was easy or easier to identify these class effects and side effects? Maybe one could identify risks earlier and withdraw information that is not true for the entire class. Does all NSAIDs put you in the risk of cardiovascular effects? Side effects. Is cough a common side effect for all ACE inhibitors? Does all vaccines put you in the same risk of unwanted reactions? Are all opioids responsible for the crisis in the US? Will all statins display the same ADR profile? Will your asthma medicine give you side effects? How do I know that this innocent-looking flower will interact or not? Hypericum perforatum, Johannes at St. Johnsworth. We know that some drugs interact, resulting in increased or decreased effects, or maybe unexpected effects. What if we could anticipate what would happen if we took one or more drugs? We know that just as the color of our eyes depend, or most often depend on our genes, some drug actions and side effects depend on our genes. Maybe we metabolize the drugs ultra fast or barely at all. Say we identify one population based on their genetic setup. Could we then anticipate how a drug would act for that population, giving that very same population another drug? Maybe with a different mechanism of action, but the same metabolic pathway. Would we then be able to anticipate the effect of the drug? What if we could group drugs, classify drugs, sort drugs based on their properties, and then be able to use these drug groupings to explore pharmacovigilance questions? I think we can do this. I think we can answer these questions. One way of doing this might be to use the WHODrug standardized drug groupings. This was a concept introduced by the UMC, say, 10 years ago, and it's a concept that has evolved since. It groups drugs based on different properties. For example, drug interaction properties, say metabolizing enzymes or drug transporters. The SDGs are available to all WHODrug users, and this classification is, of course, to complement other classifications available, such as the ATC classifications. The SDGs are nowadays established use within parts of pharma industry, especially in clinical trial settings, but also in risk management, epidemiology, clinical research, medical affairs, and clinical pharmacology. But how should these drug groupings be used in pharmacovigilance? They can be used as unbiased search strategies regarding drugs, for example, in signal detection. UMC have used them in signal detections, as you might have seen on posters out here. So, looking into the future, we see advanced pharmacovigilance methods, and I definitely think that the SDGs could take part in this way forward to explore these questions. So, to quote a famous old man when he commented on the SDGs, or maybe on UMC's 40th anniversary and way forward. No, commenting on the war, but applicable to this setting as well. Thank you. My name is Anna, and I would... Yeah, there you go.